Hello, everyone. Hello, Stephanie Zima here, My Way of Life Coaching, and welcome to Mindset Mastery Corner, where, we are talking all things mindset in this side of the internet. Okay, anyway, let's talk tonight. I feel like everyone else is doing better than me. Are you an online entrepreneur of some sort, meaning you're either a realtor, a social seller, a network marketer, or anything like that, anything that you're selling online, and you have watched other people and you just kind of feel like they're all doing better than you. Have you ever come across that? I know I have, and I know the person that has submitted that concern to me also has. And today I want to address that, okay? So when you feel that other people are doing better than you, it triggers inside of you that comparison mode, right? The fact that you feel like this little, everybody else knows more than you, everybody else has more followers than you, everybody else, seems to have more money than you, X, Y, and Z. You are the one that's filling in the blanks for when you see other people doing better. Now, there's two ways that people are responding. If you see somebody else doing better than you, the number one way that people are reacting with is they are shrinking. They're shrinking themselves, they're feeling bad about themselves, they're not doing anything, they're not showing up, they're starting to procrastinate, they're starting to have self-doubt, they're starting to get really, really tiny and invisible. And then the other group of people, those are the ones that are getting inspired by other people doing better than them, and they start really ramping up the engine, right? They are double checking and they're almost getting competitive about stuff, right? So they're looking like, how are other people are able to do this, and why, and how can I follow that and then get better than they are? So those are the two types of people, the one that are shrinking, that are dimming their light, and then the other ones that are getting more competitive, trying to outrun and outwork the ones that they are comparing themselves to. Both of these reactions have something to do with your nervous system response. So the trigger is you get triggered by seeing other people doing better than you. In your brain, you're making it mean something about you. Okay, you are putting a meaning to that fact that somebody else is better than you. You're putting a meaning to that, and that meaning makes you feel something. And from that feeling, you are reacting both ways. So your nervous system responds. And the people that are shrinking, that are dimming their light, they are usually the freezers, the fawners, right? The people that are like hiding. Those are and the flighters, right? The people that are just completely leaving the arena, the online arena, so to speak. Those are the people that are having those kind of nervous system responses to that trigger of other people being better than them. The fighters, on the other hand, they are the ones usually they say, come on, bring it on. If you can do it, I can do it, and so on and so forth. Now that we know where this is coming from, we need to figure out how we are going to deal with this, right? It is so important, if you're an online entrepreneur, that you understand what your nervous system does and how you are responding in certain areas of life. And here's why. You are being confronted in your prospecting, meaning when you're out there trying to find the ideal clients, you are ideally trying to look for a specific client that will benefit your business, right? And that you can help. Now, if you are already not quite clear on who you are and what you can do and what you can bring to the table, you could be scared. You could be hiding. And so your nervous system is trying to protect you. And that is where you are finding that situation, right? That's where you're finding your resistance, basically. That's what it is, your resistance from taking the action. So in prospecting, you can be dealing with your nervous system. When you are starting conversations, you can be dealing with your nervous system. You are starting to get insecure. You're feeling the self-doubt. You don't really know what you should say and how to, often it shows up and you asking for script, right? You're asking your upline, what script should I use? How should, like, you won't need a script anymore once you have security and confidence about who you are, what you can do, and what you're bringing to the table. Once you have confidence here, you won't need scripts anymore because those conversations will just flow. You will be able to recognize if somebody is going to benefit you or not. If you can help somebody else, you will recognize these things and you won't ask for a script anymore, because you have security. See, the reason why you have insecurity is because of that nervous system that gets triggered by this thought, like, I believe somebody else is better than me, right? It triggers that nervous system and it shows up here, prospecting and starting conversations, having sales conversations. It will continue to go in you not even asking if somebody's going to be open to taking a look at your product, services, or whatever else you're selling. And it will also continue throughout the whole entire sales process, right? This is what happens when you're a fighter and a flighter and a freezer, and you sit there and you're like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I don't even know how to move. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to create content. And when you compare yourself to somebody else, you are starting to trigger yourself, your lack of confidence and your lack of, it's a lack of confidence. You doubt, right? That's going to come up. And then you have that nervous response of hiding. When you are a fighter, on the other hand, you have this thought, I feel like everyone else is doing better than me. You're going to light that fire under your butt. You're going to be going after things. You are like working more and more. You're more competitive. Now, if you do not have good protection skills, meaning protect your boundaries, protect your energy, what happens is you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to get so exhausted that you're also going to quit. In both events, you are going to quit. Either you are going to quit because you're self-doubt and lack of confidence, or you're going to quit because you're burnt out, overwhelmed, and exhausted. So, burned out, exhausted, hiding, all of these things result in quitting, right? That's not what we want, right? We want to win in our business. We want to succeed. So how do we confront the thought of everybody else is doing better than me? What do we do instead? First of all, you got to be aware that this could be a trigger for you. If you feel any kind of emotion, remember, oh, wait a minute, meet it with curiosity. This is a trigger of mine. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so they're doing this. And then you tune inward a little bit and start realizing, how do I feel? What are my thoughts? What are my feelings? What is my inclination? What is resistance telling me right now? Am I hurt or am I exhausted? Like, which way am I? Once you are aware, you can start working with this. And this is where it becomes priceless. This is where you are transforming your life if you let it, okay? You're going to start understanding who you are and what it's done. And then you reframe that thought. So if you feel like everyone else is better than you, you can take a look. Maybe somebody has already 8 years experiences versus maybe a month or 6 months, right? Maybe somebody has a different circle that, if you are somebody that grew up in a big household with lots of cousins, and you went to school and you joined a soccer team or a baseball team, or maybe a cheerleading team or something, right? You have lots and lots of people in your circle. If you then start selling the thing, whatever it is that you're selling, do you think you're going to go slow or you think you're going to go fast? You're probably going to go pretty fast, right? So your success will look to other people like you are just so super skilled, when in fact you're probably not so skilled, but you have the luckiness of having an environment of a lot of people that trust you already. When in fact, somebody else may have even more skills than you, but is not growing as fast because they are not having a warm market, meaning an environment of people trusting them right off the bat. They have to work a little harder to be known, to be liked, and to be trusted by people. They have to be out there. They have to show what they can do. They have to put a lot of energy up forth in order to achieve the same result, even though they may be more skilled. Does that make sense? So here's the thing. when you see somebody else doing better than you, always run it through the filter. What are they better at? Do they have a better technical skill? Do they have a better conversation skills? Or is it the environment? Is it the environment that they may have? And often we won't know. But you can tell yourself in your brain that if you see somebody else doing better, always just be curious and say, oh, maybe I can learn from them. What is it that they're doing? And then when you recognize that you know a lot of the things that they are doing, you can just remember and rest assured that there's probably other circumstances such as environment or knowledge or luck or something else that we don't know, nor do we need to know. We don't need to know what makes them more successful. We just need to know that we are okay the way we are and where we are in our path, because our path is where we are having control, where we can focus in and where we can say, yes, we're going to do it this way, or no, we're not going to do it this way. So this is what's really important mentally, that you can take these feelings that come from jealousy and comparison and reframe them into productivity through curiosity. Okay, when you're curious about what is it that they do, how are they doing things, why is this happening? If you meet that with curiosity, now you're switching your fixed mindset of, oh, they're better than me and I can never become like that, to a growth-oriented mindset where you can say, oh, wait a minute, interesting. If they got to do this, maybe I can do this too. Well, how could I do this? Now, if you ask your brain, how could I achieve the same as they did? Your brain is going to tell you how you can do this, right? It's like Google or ChatGPT, if you want to talk about AI, is going to tell you now exactly how it's going to be done, or who you could possibly ask. I always say people are resources, right? You should use all your resources. You should ask everybody that you know, and ask that person. When you find yourself feeling jealous of somebody else, right? Finding yourself jealous of their progress and maybe their looks or their skin or their like appearance or their filters or whatever, right? There's a lot of people with a lot of filters out these days, so you don't even know if that's real what you're seeing anymore. But if you feel jealous, it's always coming from a scarcity mindset. It comes from the I am not good enough part versus I am too capable of doing this. Me too. I could do this too, right? Maybe I'm not there yet, but I could be, right? That's a different angle that you can start looking at this from. I told my daughter, because girls usually struggle a lot with comparison mode, and they're like always looking at other people, and they're looking on social media, and they're like, oh, look at this, and I want long hair. I don't seem to have long hair. But that's basically the thing. You can take a look at it and see, what can I do, and can I maybe put that on my plate also, right? I mean, so I told her, if she sees something, put it on your shopping list, right? Put it on your to-do list. You too can have that. It's not only reserved for the few people. Everyone can learn everything as long as you're willing to learn. You can acquire skills, you can change your appearance, you can take steps to get closer to getting what you want if you choose to do so. All right, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if that was helpful. Tag a friend, share this with somebody that you know is struggling with that mindset. And remember, Freedom Mentorship is open for enrollment. It's $27 only. If you're dealing with any kind of business, you want to be in that Freedom Mentorship group. You want to be in in the weekly coaching calls. It's a weekly clarity calls where you can ask questions, where you get skill training. So you get skill training and you can ask your questions. You can have little implementation challenges during the week. There's a lot of goodness that you can get, and it really helps getting to know yourself, getting to know how you're showing up in your business, and working with your mindset, with your personality, and making it yours. Because I see so many of you just copying and pasting and trying other people's ways instead of trying to find your way. Business will be different for every single person because your makeup is different. You are a different person. And when you want to succeed in an online business, you gotta not reinvent the wheels. That's not what I'm talking about, but you gotta get yourself into action, right? And so many of you have problems even taking actions because you're still feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck. Belief comes number one first. Ability that you can move and get yourself through difficult situations, it's just mindset mastery, is a must. Okay, when you have mindset mastery, you get off this roller coaster of the emotions. You can continue to take consistent actions, and that, my friends, is where you are going to see the success that you are looking for. All right, so enroll. Let's get in there. Let's get going. All right, we'll see you later. Good night.